Hi, I'm Will Arnett, and I am here in the Criterion Closet. I've just been doing some organizing for them. And then they said, oh, well, they gave me this bag, and they said, while you're here, why don't you just kind of check out a few movies and maybe talk about it? And I said, I'm kind of busy right now. And then they said, please, and I sort of said, fine. And I was like, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. Love this one. Didn't know it was here. Stranger Than Paradise. Man. Jim Jarmusch. This is a great movie. In fact, this tableau has played in my mind for so many years, and we ended up doing this kind of limited series for Netflix years ago called Flake that I wrote, and we tried to recapture this image in a photograph in this one moment in the show. I had a poster of this on my wall when I was about 17, maybe 16. I've always loved this movie, Stranger Than Paradise. Okay. By the way, people should know this is not a set. This is an actual closet, because I've watched this before and been like, cute set. Not. Oh my God. This movie freaked me out, and then I've watched it a number of times since. It freaked me out when I first saw it. I was much younger. The Tin Drum. This movie sometimes makes me so uncomfortable. There's this whole thing with fish. Yeah, they get into like hypocrisy of adults and all this kind of stuff, and it's super weird. If you want to get weird, watch this movie, Tin Drum. Really, really good. Very, very moving. Kieślowski's Decalogue. This is a 10-part limited series that he made for Polish television based on the Ten Commandments. Kieślowski, one of my favorite filmmakers. I love Red, White, and Blue. Those are three of my favorite films. Double Life of Veronique, which is amazing, which is the same. It's, what's her name from Red? Is the Irene Jacob. C'est elle. Alors, elle est merveilleuse dans ses films, les films de Kieślowski. Sorry, I just think in French. Withnail and I. My #1 film of all time. Written and directed by Bruce Robinson, first film. Richard E. Grant's first film. Paul McGann, who plays the character of I. His character's name is Marwood. About two out-of-work actors living in Camden Town, North London, at the very end of the 60s. And it's about sort of change in culture and society and people and these guys going through this time in their life. It's brilliant. It's hilarious. It's profoundly poignant and sad. For me, it's one of the great film performances. Richard E. Grant, he does it all in this film. I've had the opportunity to tell him that in person. It was a great thrill of my life. And I've watched it, and this is not an exaggeration. You see people go like, I've watched it 100 times. I've watched it easily no less than 200 times in my life, no less. If you haven't seen it, please, I urge you to watch it. John Cassavetes, 5 films. Classic Cassavetes, another thing that you hear a lot of people say like, oh, I love the film, and they say it for a reason because he's great. But Woman Under the Influence, amazing. I don't think I've seen enough of it. I don't know enough about it. Like, it's one of those ones that I feel when I hear people, it's like when people talk about art, and I pretend that I'm cooler than it, but it's really because I just don't know. So I don't know enough about Cassavetes, but I'm about to. And once I watch these, get ready for a discussion on film from me. So for my last hurrah, I'm going to start with my eyes closed so that you can see that I'm going to do a random pick. Try to feel. Let the closet speak to me. Les Blank, always for pleasure. An uncompromisingly independent filmmaker, Les Blank made documentaries for nearly 50 years, elegantly disappearing with his camera into cultural spots rarely seen on screen, mostly on the peripheries of the United States, but also occasionally abroad. Do you know any of these films? You ready? God respects us when we work, but loves us when we dance. Name of a film. Another called A Well-Spent Life. Garlic is as good as 10 mothers. Sprout wings and fly. In heaven there is no beer? ? But I'm excited. I don't know enough about film, and I bet there are a million people who are going to comment. I know, I see your comments below. How do you not know Les Blank? You don't know anything. You're such a jerk. Les Blank is one of the greatest of all time. Look at Arnett. What a doofus. I hate his haircut. Oh, who cares, man? I'm just happy I got it. Okay, that's it for me. I'm out. Oh, do you guys have a DVD player I can borrow?